And it was so effortless. Everything was on time. Everything was perfect. And you just know in the UK, you'd be like, the ferry's broken. The plane's broken. The train's late.
Wow.
Hello and welcome to the Abroad Japan podcast. Probably the best way of learning about life in Japan without actually being in Japan. I'm your host, Chris Broad. We're joined as always by England's top Japan enthusiast, Mr. Pete Dawson himself. Pete, how the devil are you doing? What's going on?
Do it. I've not started until you do it. There we go. He's opened his coffee. It's like the Hulk Hogan Big Boot. It's the most thrilling move in sports entertainment, seeing Chris open a bottle of coffee. It really is. I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a good Halloween weekend. I've had a relatively dry one. I had half a bottle of Prosecco on a Friday, and so that means on Monday morning, I'm not in the middle of what can only be described as a cracking on for mid-40s 3-day hangover. So, which sounds very much like more than me concerned for Chris Broad, because Chris is malleable and soft and a little bit hungover himself, which is very enjoyable for a Monday morning.
Yeah, I'm a little bit hungover. I caught up with another Pete, the American equivalent of you, who's equally as energetic and charismatic. American Pete.
How is he?
And he's good, yeah. We ate a big... It was his birthday and his 5-year anniversary on Twitch. I remember, when he kicked off. Credit where it's due to Pete. One of the key reasons he's successful is persistence. He started his Twitch channel, I think it was 2020, in September, October, and he had no viewers, no one, and I think he had like 20 viewers for like 6 months, and he did it like every day. He must have loved it a lot. And then his career sort of took off a year later, but if he hadn't put in all those hours that first year with 20 viewers, I don't think he'd be here today and doing Twitch. And to celebrate that and his birthday, I took him out for steak, and then we went and drank lots of gin and whiskey and various things. And I'm fucking awful with hangovers. My hangovers are shit. I hate getting older. It's rubbish, and hangovers get infinitely worse.
Wait till you get past that 40 mark. Wait till you get past that 40 mark, and oh dear.
To be fair, I've done a good job cutting down alcohol. I think I know I've done like a few highly publicised disastrous live streams in recent times.
Falling off the wagon with Chris Broad. That's what it goes.
I really don't like drinking that much anymore. I really I've done a good job, I think, this year cutting down. I went through a phase last year in September where I had like 2 glasses of red wine every night, and it was quite nice. But then I realised this probably isn't going to do my...
It's untenable.
Much good.
I think drinking every day is untenable. You just, especially the job that you do as well. I think, don't they say like, write drunk, edit sober? You kind of have to edit sober, because what you find funny and amusing after 2 glasses of wine is completely different to what anybody else does. But I think, you're not in any way in my top 100 people I know who like a drink, which is upsetting, because you have so many reasons to drink. You hang out with Natsuki for one; he's difficult to deal with most of the time. He called me a man of good character last week, didn't he? We were. He
was drunk that day. He was genuinely drunk that day.
Yes,
but it came from a good place, I think. He sent you a video, didn't he? Being like, "You are good man, Pete Dawson." Some nonsense. I don't know where it came from either. We were just we were having yakitori in Yamagata, which is the news story this week, which is cool. We're having yakitori, and he's just like, "I like a Pete Dawson." I'm like, where did this come from? Of all the people you could have reeled off,
I think everybody over a beer should think about their opinions of Pete Donaldson. I think they should reassess their and maybe call the authorities. I don't know. It's completely up to you, really. But I'm looking forward to seeing Natsuki. I can't wait to see that lad. He makes my heart sing, and Pete, and all.
He compliments you. Because he compliments you like no other.
You know what? I enjoy hanging out with him because I'm a man of great character. That's all I'm saying.
A man of great character. Of course you are. Well, we got a story this week from Miguel from Australia, who says, "Hello, Chris and Pete. I finally went to Japan last December and January, and I had an amazing time, and your tips helped me out very much. Though I did run into one very annoying mishap. I was coming back from Hakuba, the ski resort, and needed to get a Shinkansen from Nagano to Tokyo. The bus from Hakuba was delayed, so I was in a rush by the time I got to Nagano station. The train was departing at a really specific time, like 16:08 or something, and in the chaos of me rushing, I only glanced quickly at the departure board. I spotted the departure time of my train, saw the platform number and thought, right, that's it. And when I got to the platform, the train was already there. I'd booked the unreserved seating, but I couldn't see where the section was located. The train was about to leave, though, so I jumped on, planning to walk through the carriages until I found the right area. I walked through the whole goddamn train, suitcase in hand, and I still couldn't find my seat. That is when I knew something was wrong, but by this point the train was very much in motion. When a train attendant eventually walked by, I asked if this Shinkansen was going to Tokyo. My memory is hazy, but he said something like, no. and that I needed to get off at the next station to change to the right train. Close to 1 hour later, the train finally stopped in Toyama. I'd never even heard of Toyama. I pulled out Google Maps to see where I was and realised I was on the complete wrong side of the country. Toyama is on the west coast of Japan. I was meant to be on the east coast. I talked to the station staff and he said I could jump on the next unreserved train going to Tokyo, but I didn't have time to explore Toyama. So I waited and finally got on a very packed train back to Tokyo. When I returned to Australia, my phone kept feeding me articles about how Toyama is a hidden gem and the next best travel destination for Japan. Well, I can say the train station was perfectly nice, that's for sure. Have you guys ever got the wrong Shinkansen, and can you actually be fined for it? Cheers, guys. Miguel from Australia. Toyama, it's a really odd place. It's a cool place, but there's not that much. I've always struggled to find things there.
Right.
The first time I went there was on Journey Across Japan a few days before you joined, and I was there with Charla, and we had black ramen, which is this really strong, potent ramen. I think they made it in the post-war years, and it was supposed to be like, the soup was supposed to be really strong, but you would use it, you would sort of put rice in the soy sauce broth, right?
Right.
And it'd give flavour to the rice, and the idea being, you eat more carbohydrates. And you'd sort of eat more carbohydrates so you could work longer as a sort of form of stamina. But Miguel didn't get to try that, so
no,
have to go back to Toyama.
He had to go back to Toyama. No, I think the trains are so regular. You're kind of joked into. You're kind of tricked into sort of getting on trains really quickly. You're like, oh my god, I gotta get on this one. But they're so regular, you can just give yourself a beat and go, I'll miss this one. I'll figure out where I'm going, in which direction I'm supposed to be going, and which train.
I literally missed my Shinkansen like 6 days ago. That was very stressful. Connor and I went to the Shimanami Kaido. We did the cycle across the sea and everything. And Connor booked tickets and for a train. And
specific
I
train,
left.
right.
Well, I left in what I thought. I left in what I thought was good time.
Right.
But then what I hadn't factored in was Tokyo rush hour is mental, and it was like 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and Tokyo is like a heck of a lot busier at 4 p.m. What the journey should have taken like 25 minutes took 45.
Yeah.
And as Connor's Shinkansen like disappeared off, I was beneath the railway line in the taxi as the car as his fucking Shinkansen rocketed past.
Oh dear.
And he wasn't overly happy, but I was like, look, mate, there's a bullet train in like 3 minutes. I'll see you at the other end of Japan just 3 minutes later. It wasn't 3 minutes, it was like 10 minutes. But the Nozomi line is so frequent that it's really not an issue.
Is the Nozomi line the fastest one? I forget which one
It is, yeah.
I mean, so if you're on like a JR pass, you can't get on the fastest train, so they're not quite as regular. But if you're just buying ticket by ticket, which are these days, I kind of recommend having a crack at, to be honest.
The pass is no longer worth it, really, is it?
To a certain extent, yeah. And getting the fastest train, they just come so regularly and they're so bloody quick. And I like that Connor's turned into basically me when I first moved out to London, where like in the northeast of England, the trains stop at like 6 in the evening. Can't get anywhere. Takes an hour to get anywhere that should take 20 minutes. The trains are old converted buses, like, and they hopper buses. They bounce up and down on the old Hartlepool to Newcastle line, and they don't come like, it's every hour and a half or whatever. And when you get down to London, if you're waiting for a Northern Line, when I first moved out of London, Northern Line trains were like every 9 minutes because the Northern Line was just buggered back then. And now, like, you're in London for like 2 years, and you're like, oh, I'm really annoyed I've got to wait 3 minutes for a train. It's like, and in Japan, I imagine that is even worse because they're so regular and so bloody good.
Yeah.
If you miss one, you're like, oh, I could have gotten that one. I could have been 3 minutes earlier than required.
I think it's because the public transport in Japan's so good. You sort of it does make the country feel smaller and easier.
Yeah.
You know, like on the end of that shoot with Connor, we went to an island called Shodoshima, the second biggest island, inland sea, beautiful place. And from there we got like a taxi to the ferry port, the ferry to the mainland. We then like got to the train station and caught a train, and it was so effortless. Everything was on time, everything was perfect. And you just know in the UK, you'd be like, the ferry's broken, the plane's broken, the train's late. Just travelling, the act of travelling is not as fluid or as is effortless as it is in Japan. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Japan feels smaller for it to some extent. You know, the fact you can get anywhere these days very quickly and very effortlessly from Tokyo, just on a bullet train or two, you know.
If you get on like a slow train, like a little kind of slow line train from, I'll use the example of that I will have used a million times before when I got on the wrong train to try and go and see FC Tokyo play. I think it was one of the Tokyo teams, and it might have been Verdi or something. And I got on the wrong train, and I was like 2 hours, and I was like, where the hell am I? And I looked at my Google Maps on my little, you know, we used to get those little Wi-Fi pebbles that would give yourself a little Wi-Fi signal over 4G, and I was heading towards a place called Kofu. Which is halfway, but basically not even halfway between Tokyo and Nagoya, and it took like.
Of course, you were going there. It's the land of vineyards and wine. Of course, you were going there by accident.
Grapes.
Oh yeah!
I accidentally drank a 4-litre bottle of wine, and sort of ended up in Kofu. And luckily, they've got a J League team, and that happy little accident became my favourite football team in Japan. So Volfere Kofu, the team that play in the beautiful, whatever the name of the stadium is, stadium.
Watch them while drinking a bottle of Kofu Yamanashi red wine.
Yeah, well, I did buy little balls of like sort of grape jelly because they're famed for their grape out there, and I bought what I thought was a bunch of absolutely massive grapes, but it wasn't. It was these sort of plastic condoms full of jelly that you would sort of break open in your mouth and eat like a weird pig, like a weird jelly pig.
They're not good.
Eating them on the way home.
Well, actually, the place we're going to talk about today is famous for grapes and fruit. And now it's actually one of the best places to visit in the world 2026, according to National Geographic. And I'm biased, and I happen to agree, because I lived there for 3 years. And I've just got back from there. Tell us what's going on, Pete. Tell us about Yamagata.
Well, Yamagata is about to be ruined by over-tourism. National Geographic names Yamagata Prefecture on its Best of the World 2026 travel destinations. Hidden gem in Japan. National Geographic has announced its Best of the World list, which highlights the top places around the globe to visit next year. And Yamagata Prefecture has made the cut, named as one of the world's most must-see destinations. Yamagata, 200 miles north of Tokyo, will not be any kind of new news to people listening to the Abroad in Japan podcast. It's tucked away in the Tohoku region and is known for its incredible natural beauty, warm-hearted locals, disagree, sense of calm, and of course, the location.
One local said you're a man of character, so that is accurate.
Yeah, one local man. I love him. He's great. But yeah, it said that it was Yamagata was being Japan's best kept secret. Ginzan Onsen, one of Japan's prettiest hot spring towns, where old wooden inns line the river and lanterns glow softly through the snow. Yamagata is home to Dewa Sanzan, a trio of sacred mountains, and Yamadera as well, a stunning temple built on the side of a cliff where the poet Basho once wrote some of his most famous haikus. And the food as well. A lot of Wagyu beef in there, the thick, tender Yonezawa Wagyu beef, the hearty imoni hot pot stews, and top quality sake that's actually protected by a geographical indication, meaning that it's recognised for its unique regional character. So if you've thought about experiencing Japan, a little bit off the beaten track, still very, very gettable, toable on the old Shinkansen, get involved. Yamagata, one of the best places in the world to visit in 2026. Chris Broad, your thoughts?
Have you been to any of those places, like Ginzan Onsen or the Dewa Sanzan or any of those places?
I've not done Ginzan Onsen. Did we not sort of Did we not sort of go to a temple? Did we not? We went to the monk bit, didn't we? With the monks.
I took
Was
you
that
to a
not
place
temple?
where there's some monks carved in the rocks, right? The Judokudakan, the 16
Yes.
Buddhas carved in the rocks. And you have to find all their faces for good
I
luck.
think it was like 7 years today or something. 7 years like last week or something. We were just hanging out. You were you had a new T-shirt you were hawking like a magic. And I took some sexy pics of you on the beach. you just clambering around the rocks with my terrible photography skills for your website.
I remember
or something.
well.
But yeah.
Ginzan Onsen's really nice, but we talked about it before. It's been like quite overcrowded, and they've sort of had a lot of problem with too many folks going there.
Right.
I went there last time I was there was with American Pete, and I chained him to me. He got a challenge where he had to be chained to me, literally with handcuffs for a day.
Right,
And he never has let me forget that. When he was laments all the things I put him through, he's like, you literally chain me up to your fucking hand. I didn't do it willingly. It was Ian's idea.
Ian was the puppet master.
Ian
Ian
did it. Yeah.
This is the endurance. It's like Mr. Beast. Ian is like
It was
Mr.
a bit,
Beast,
yeah.
getting people to get chained together.
Even
for...
Mr. Beast would chain two people together like that. It's genuinely really dangerous though, because it was extremely snowy and slippery. And at one point, I think he nearly fell in the river and took me with him. And I was like, it got really quite scary at times. And I wouldn't
Ian's
do that.
problem. Ian will have to fish you out. Ian will have to call the coroner's office in
Two
Japanese.
foreigners drowned in a river because they were chained to each other and couldn't help each other out. Yamagata. I think I'm worried that sometimes that maybe people think I'm biased, and I'm like, of course it's good. I live there, But it is genuinely, I think, one of the best places in Japan.
Yeah.
Nobody goes there. The foreign tourists in general, they do go to Ginzan, they do go to Yamadera, but they don't see a lot of the other bits of the region. And you have to kind of rent a car to really appreciate it. But, I just got back from there. I'm probably going to go again next week. And there's nowhere else I'd rather be, to be honest. I wish I was still there. And maybe one day I'll retire there, up a mountainside, and get eaten by bears. And I thought, oh my God, there's so many bear attacks. The one time we've not talked about bears, there's been more bear attacks this year than any other time in recorded history in Japan. While I was in Yamagata, my friend who lives there was like, a bear just got caught in the school gym. And he sent me a video of a bear hanging from the rafters, and it's mental. It's out of control, man.
Was it getting a swole? Was the bear getting swole, Chris? Was the Chris doing more plates, more dates? Was he working out?
He's crazy there. And I read an article they're going to get hunters on the public payroll and start funding them more to take down the bears. It's crazy stuff,
This is not going to make them any sort of money. What we need is a sort of a kind of dog the bounty hunter for bears in Japan. We need a rugged husky man of the mountain in America.
Sea Dog VA.
Sea Dog VA.
I'll stop these bears, whatever the cost.
Sea Dog VA, Bear Hunter.
There we go.
It's like he's here with us.
It's like he's here with us.
Just like him.
I'll kill your bear.
Oh God!
Let's see WA.
No more fun for you. Stop using those dodgy buttons.
No. Okay.
Oh my God! what goes on your other podcast?
What goes on my other podcast?
The next station is Shibuya.
Lovely.
That's pretty
The
good.
next station
I
is
like that
Shibuya.
one.
There we go.
But yeah, Yamagata is probably the best place in Japan. I like it. National Geographic got it right this time. Well done. And you should go there too.
Watch out
There's
for
plenty of
bears.
videos there. If you want to see and get some bear spray ready. If you want to see the Ginzan Onsen with Pete dying with a chain, there's a video called "I Survived Japan's Snowiest Town." Came out I think 2 years ago, and there's another one. A day at I stayed at a Japanese mountain temple. It came out years ago with Ryotaro, and that was also in Yamagata. One of my favourite videos, actually. If you like snow, you're going to love Yamagata, especially if you like bears as well.
I'll put them in descriptions. I'll put them in the description. Whether you listen in audio or you listen on YouTube, we'll put them in the descriptions, all right?
Wow. Great man. A great man. And with that, we'll go into the fax machine.
Wow.
And we're back with the fax machine. What have we got this week from our listeners, Mr. Dawson? Fill us in.
Hello, Chris and Pete. I've become very fond of regional Eurochara, Japanese mascots as of late, and I was wondering which ones, if any, are your favourite, or if you've had any experiences interacting with them. My favourites are Funasi. Ooh, now how do you say this? Funasi. Apparently. Funashi?
The mascot of Chiba, and famous for that clip where they run across like a minefield and there's like laser explosions behind them.
Okay, yeah. And Kuwamon, which is effectively made me want to go and visit their respective cities of Funabashi and Kumamoto whenever I go to Japan. I'm easily influenced. Much so from Canada, I absolutely adore what you guys do and listen to the podcast religiously while I draw Maria. Kuwamon is the guy who didn't start it, but he certainly put a rocket up everybody's love of mascots. I mean, people will put mascots on anything, won't they? Yeah, they made so much money. 11.8 billion yen in merchandising sales in the first 6 months of 2012. I mean, amazing.
They believe Kumamon has generated over $1 billion of advertising revenue for like Kumamoto, and I can believe it. My favourite mascot is always going to be Melon Bear, which is a bear who ate a delicious Yubari king melon, and then his head became more melon than bear, and he's genuinely fucking terrifying. He's got these big gnarling, like creepy teeth. It looks like he's going to rip your head off. But he's great, Melon Bear.
Yeah, lovely. I like Domokon, the NHK one. He's like he was kind of, I don't know how long he's been kicking around, but he seems to have been around for a very, very, very long. 1998. He was the first. He was part of he was the mascot of NHK television channel, and he's this kind of blocky sort of bear monster. I don't really. He's a brown furry monster. He's got a large mouth, which is always open. His favourite food is nikujaga, a Japanese meat and potato stew. And he communicates in a sotto voce. What's sotto voce? Sotto voce? It's a very quiet, whispering voice that with a verve that only his friends can understand. Sotto voce. Domo can only say his name, so he just says Domo can. And also, when he gets nervous or upset, he passes gas. So there we go. But he's this lovely little fella. But he's been kicking around the internet for such a long time, and long before I ever visited Japan, he's always been kicking around. And also there's two police ones that were like an anti-piracy things. They're like two skinny policemen with one's got a video camera for a head and the other one's got like a flashing sort of police light for a head, and they're both like anti-piracy, anti-filming in a cinema things, and my dad's really into them for some reason. I bought a couple of figurines for my dad, so next to my mum and dad's telly there's these two Japanese anti-piracy mascots, which is quite humorous.
That's pretty cool.
Models.
I love the passion that goes into these mascots. I do feel like Kumamon led to everyone just wanting a mascot rather than putting the effort in.
With varying degrees of quality,
want to cash in on it, yeah. But Kumamon is still the king. We got one here from Hiroki who says, hello, Chris and Pete. I'm going to apply to the JET program, and I know that trying to get placed in Tokyo or near Tokyo is like winning the lottery. So I'm wondering what 3 additional places I should list as preferred options. I have family in Hachinohe, in Aomori, over in Kanagawa, and also in Chiba, and would ideally want to be near them if possible, so I could visit during weekends and long holidays. Which locations would you suggest for me, and why? Hope you continue the great work, and I would love to run into you at some point when I do eventually move to Japan. Hiroki. I mean, Hachinohe would get my vote. It's a bit of a weird town, Hachinohe. It's not the nicest town. There's lots of cool stuff to see and do. But it's a town that's seen its finer days long since past. I don't know, really. It's tough, isn't it? But then the thing about the JET program is you get to. It is, yeah. It's a coastal port town on Aomori's east coast. But the thing is, you can live in the Tokyo area easily in general, right? After you finish the JET program, whereas the JET program, the real benefit of it is you can get placed in somewhere you'd never normally be able to end up and live. Right, it's an adventure and an opportunity of a lifetime, and for that, I would probably pick Aomori. So you could be near your family in Hachinohe, and you could always just rocket down on the bullet train on weekends to Tokyo in 2.5 hours and see your family in Kanagawa and Chiba and whatnot. But Aomori isn't somewhere many people get to live. It is quite brutal in winter. There's no two ways about it. But you've got the village where Jesus is buried, and you've got apples and cider. And if that doesn't sell it, what would? That's all you need to live
Doesn't
somewhere.
tempt you, like the asps.
Absolutely.
Horrible apple. Yeah, lovely.
And finally, Tom from New York says, "Hello, Chris and Pete. I'll be visiting Japan for the second time in January. I was hoping to go to Lost Bar after Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th. Shout out to Pete."
Oh, come on. A little bit of Donaldson in there, isn't there? I think because...
Man of character, Donaldson.
Man of character. Let's just... Here we go. Donaldson's in town. Because WWE have started doing WrestleManias in fucking Saudi Arabia because money. We're probably going to do a Wrestle Kingdom at some point instead of going to WrestleMania because they've got their last one in Las Vegas this year, and then I think we'll probably do Wrestle Kingdom. But it's like I think it's like the 4th, January the 4th, very early in the year to sort of get a flight out and to have an excuse to sort of do New Year. I'd probably have to do New Year here with the little one, and then head out to Japan. It's probably New Year's Day. A very long show with quite a lot of generic Japanese wrestlers, but a lot of fun. I hope Tom's going to have a good time. But his main question, Chris.
I mean, the question is, will Lost be open on and around New Year's? I actually don't know. I think it will be, yeah. I think it was last year. Probably is. I'll find out. I'm going there later. I'll ask him.
It's not quite as big a deal, is it, I suppose, New Year's in Japan, so...
The days after... No, actually, New Year's is a big holiday in Japan, and the days after, like the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of January often are. But I feel like a bar wouldn't necessarily shut, and izakayas and things are still open. So, yeah, I'll have to check it out, actually. I have to ask you, find out.
I mean, if you don't know, Chris...
I'm fairly confident it is, though.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Just turn up. Just turn up. But the shoe's gone, so...
It's not like it's like in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing else to do. You know what I mean? Oh, no, lost... I turned up twice after it was closed, or I just kept missing the times. Absolutely useless. So
bloody useless you are.
Yeah, I stole some things from the gachapon machine and then made my escape. So, good stuff.
I'm sure it'll be open, though. Probably. But for now, keep the stories, questions, comments coming into BrawnJapanPodcast@gmail.com. We'll be back later in the week to do it all over again, guys. But for now, have yourself a great few days, and we'll see you right back here to do it all over again on the Brawn Japan Podcast. Bye for now.
Goodbye.